This is Stephen. He's going to read his testimony in front of class. All right, and whenever you are ready, go.
I was born at Quebec in Korea when I was young. I just habitually went to a church with my mother. She was the only one who believed Christ in my family. 1998, all of a sudden, my father had heart attack. I prayed desperately for him. I answered my prayer, and he had healed from the sickness. Because of the event, I realized all relief depended on God. But without true faith, I just kept my religious routine until I went to Italy. From 1999 to 2005, I was at Rome in Italy for about 6 years in order to complete the classic voice program. While I studied over the 100 times, I traveled around all over the world and did worship ministry with worship team. Named I Solisti di Roma, to be used as an instrument of Christ. Through the ministry, I experienced strong presence of God. Generally, I had got time, but I could not complete my study in Italy because of several pains and suffering. Uh, Pains and suffering. I tried to finish it with my ability, but I could not. Finally, I went back to Korea with a diploma. I felt so depressed about the failure of 6 years study in Italy. Everything was so painful to me. But now I look back and I realize that God plans, define and train me as um, Jeremiah chapter 98 verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. When I was 27, I started to serve the Korean military. In military, I became a company chaplain and led worships and choir team in a military church. As I shared the gospel with my people and served God's church, I realized that the meaningful life sought God's way, and I changed a little by little. Through those producers, uh, procedures, I experienced God who never forget any little thing, and many all things work together for God. After accomplished the military service, my father-in-law highly recommended me to go Korean Baptist University, and through John chapter 21, I was convinced God called me to be a servant of Christ. 2008, I enrolled Korean Baptist University as studied theology and did ministry in churches. I firmly realized that God was alive and Christ was my King. Uh, and forever. I ended up with confessing Christ was my Lord and Savior of my entire life. Finally, I accepted Christ as my Lord when I was pastoral ministry field. In that time, I learned Jesus Christ's heart and put pity on people who don't believe Jesus Christ. And now to Timothy chapter 4 verse 2 especially hurt me. Preach the word, be prepared in season, and encourage with great patience and careful instruction. God's word always call me for His kingdom and His righteousness in Jesus Christ. I will just obey and follow Him now and forever.
Amen. Good job, Stephen. Good. Thank you, thank you, thank you.